All right, I am live. Hello, hello to Queen of Credit. So let's go ahead and get the 5 minutes of fame countdown clock beginning as you all enter the credit and cash flow room. Let me set everything up for my special guest. So come in and say hello. Let's hope Alvin and I can join in together. So drop your 5 minutes of fame, drop your city and state, and say hello. So let me get Alvin in. Let him join in. We were having an in-depth conversation, and I was like, Alvin, let's just go live and share this information with our people. So come in, drop your city and state and say hello. If you are new to my live stream, I am known in the financial world and the credit and cash flow world as the Queen of Credit because of the results that I help people get with their credit and using their credit to get more cash flow in their lives and to help them transition their credit from bad to good and from good to great. Another thing I'm excited about, an announcement is that I hit 17,000 subscribers today, right? 17,000 subscribers on YouTube. So very happy about that. So we got 3 minutes. Let's try to get Alvin in. The topic is going to be how to restore, rebuild, and revision, or how to maximize your credit, right? So how to build, restore, rebuild, restore, revision, or how to build, restore, and maximize your credit. I think I didn't put that right, but I'll change that title as we upload the video, right? As we upload the video. So we tried to go live I tried to go live 2 different occasions, but my phone and my Wi-Fi will not let me connect. So hello from Oxford, Mississippi. That's up north. Hello from Oxford, Mississippi. Some reason it's not showing. Oh, yes, it is. On the Periscope. So hello. Thanks for coming in. The credit and, oh my God, I didn't look at that picture. Credit and cash flow room. And let me see some things I need to get on the scope. So let me communicate with Alvin. See if he can get in as well as he's trying to join the link. Sometimes we have some technical difficulty with him joining in on my live stream. So let's hope everything goes as planned and we can get him in. So it is still a minute, 30 seconds, approximately 90 seconds. So come in. Make sure you all hit like and hit share. Share that I'm live, whether you're on Facebook. And I see Alvin in. Let me make this post. Give me 1 second. All right, so we have, is it Taryn? Taryn Williams. Let's see, can I add Alvin in? I think I got Alvin. Alvin, can you hear me?
You can hear me?
I can. Let me cut my timer off. I just had people coming in and saying hello. So let me cut this volume down. I'm going to remove that. It was only about 30 seconds remaining on that. So let me see if I can reposition this. Give me 1 second. Hello, Tyrone, for coming in. All right, that's the way I want it. So I don't know. Maybe let's hope every people come on in. My regular people. I had some take my AirPods out. Technical difficulties today. So maybe they think that I'm live streaming from my phone and that it's going to go in and out again. So they didn't stay with me long. But I'm on my laptop, so we should be fine. So the sound is good on your end. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Alvin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alvin. I've been on here before. I met a few of you guys last time I was on here. I'm Alvin. Um, I've been in the credit space for some time now. The topic tonight we will be discussing revolving around credit. Latanya is one of my good friends. She's also known as the Queen of Credit. So pretty much the topic of tonight is going to be about the subject of credit. So I just wanted to quickly introduce myself. My name is Alvin, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Any other questions, feel free to ask me. But nice to meet everyone that's on the call tonight.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Thanks, Alvin. And another thing, will you just remind just what's your age so I can just let them know I really trying to reach out to the millennial, um,
hmm Yeah,
young people. Yeah.
yeah. I'm 28 years old, based out here in Atlanta, Georgia. But I am 28 years old, based in Atlanta. I actually just moved to Atlanta about a week and a half ago. Was on the West Coast, was in Los Angeles, and I decided to move over here to the East Coast, closer to a few family members that's in the southeastern part of the United States. But yes, I am 28 years old, and I'm in the credit space. So that's just going to be the topic of tonight. So let's kick it off.
All right,
Okay,
so
let's kick it.
Alvin's 28, man. He's his knowledge is just powerful about what he knows about credit, about using and leveraging credit to better your life financially. And Alvin and I, we were having a conversation about this is the I guess I don't want to call it a myth, uh, misconception. I think that's for lack of better words, misconception that a lot of people have about credit, right? Even when utilizing their personal credit, and I love to help millennials at this at an early age, right? Because it is so much easier. I've been in a room where it's been adults and in a room where it's been 18-year-old or young adults. And it's so much easier when you ask young adults questions that's either that's cut and dry because they have no preconceived information or no misinformation, right? No misinformation. And I always ask all the time, why do you think that it's much easier, right? At the age of 18, why is it much easier to get approved for thousands of dollars of student loan debt? Thousands of dollars of student loan debt before you can get approved for business credit, right? And in some cases, even personal credit. Why do you think that's easy? And a lot of people believe that degrees, right, position them to be knowledgeable or successful, especially when it comes to the financial world. And in my opinion, that's the farthest thing from the truth, right? And as Alvin and I were discussing and talking about over the phone, is that degrees actually cause debt, and your
hmm
return on investment for student loan debt starting in college and university is often not, it doesn't equal up. It doesn't, equal to the amount of debt that you took out. And so your first experience for most people with bad debt is student loans. And once they get into that hole, right, it's hard to sometimes transform their mind and thinking to think that they can use credit and debt to create more cash flow in actuality. So what do you think about that, Alvin? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah. I want to quickly go back to the topic that you stated earlier. You mentioned they will give you student loan debt before they give you any other type of debt, and like I'm entitled to agreeing with you on that. Like I like that point. I like that topic because don't anyone find it strange that right out of high school, and let's just take two people in the same situation, right out of high school, and I see many of my friends do this, and I didn't go to college. I just want to make that clear. I didn't go to college. Many of my friends went off to college. I didn't go to college for some reason. I felt like um, I wasn't shifted towards. I wasn't. Something told me not to go to college, so I didn't go. But many of my friends did. They went to school, and right out of college, these schools was willing to give them $100,000, $200,000 in student loan debt. But if my same friends would have tried to go to the bank or tried to get any type of business loan for $200,000, like the chances of them getting approved for a loan like that would literally be slim to none. Like they're not willing, like they'll fund you to go into bad debt, but they would not fund you in order to get wealthy. And that's why I said the point that you made tonight on discussing that, Latanya, I think that's very, very, very powerful. Like, why is it that they would fund you to go into bad debt that's not guaranteed to produce you any cash flow, any return on your investment? Because college is not guaranteed to give you a return on your investment. They'll give you $100,000 in student loan debt, but you're not guaranteed to make any money from that. You're not. There's no guarantee, And even if you're investing into other assets, either there's still no guarantees. But I think the return on investment would be much better if you would take $100,000 and invest it into like a business or invest it into some real estate or any other type of asset that could potentially give you monthly cash flow versus going to college for 5, 6, 7 years or however long, and you don't even know if you're going to get a job in your field. You know how many people that I know that don't even have jobs in the field that they went to school and got a degree for. So it's like, I just think personally, that you have to be wise with your choices and your decisions on whether you want to go to college or not. And I'm not saying college is a bad thing, but just have a vision. And I just think that when it comes to going into debt, just make sure that debt is going to give you cash flow, just going to produce some money for you, So that's my 2 cents on that particular topic right now.
Right. And so Credit Keys is here. He said college is a risk as well these days.
Absolutely.
And this other article that I was reading, and I'm going to share this with you because we will drop some credit secrets, some things that, because you've never been taught this subject in school on the subject of credit. And I love credit cards, right? I love credit cards. I will not tell anybody that I don't. And one of the reasons, as we were discussing student loans, that I love credit cards is because there are ways to discharge credit card debt if I'm ever struggling financially, right? That's not available through student loans. People don't understand. In 2008, during the Obama administration, what happened was our student loans became debt, right? So in our student loans became federal, right? In 2008, during the Obama administration, just like in 1971, when the dollar became debt, and that's
Yeah.
another topic. But so what happened, what that means, simply put, is that so beginning during the 2001 administration, that means you have to repay back those student loans. You, through your labor, that's why we see so many people during these elections that's advocating or that wants student loans debt destroyed. I'll vote for the president that says that, get rid of student loan debts, et cetera, because student loan debt and taxes are kicking their behinds, right? And so they're looking for an easy way out, a quick fix. And now you can't discharge student loans no more in bankruptcy, right? If anyone's familiar with Sally Mae, it used to be a time you can put Sally Mae in a bankruptcy and that you pay back less than what you borrowed over 5 years' time. And but that's not, you can't do that anymore. All student loans are federal. And so I try to begin the beginning stages of people at an earlier age, as far as using credit wisely, right? Latoya says, so true. I was able to do more with a 2-year vocational degree that I got with my GI Bill versus the 4-year degree that I got with the military. The 4-year degree cost me thousands of dollars in credit, right? Credit Keys says to dispute student loans. And Credit Keys, you are correct. And I hope you're one of my subscribers also, Credit Keys. Out of the 17,000, you can dispute student loan, but the thing is that
Still hold
even
it debt.
right off your credit report, you're still liable legally for the debt.
Mm-hmm.
So getting them deleted off of your credit report does not delete them out of your life. You can get garnishment if student loan debt is not repaid, whether it's showing on your credit report or not. So Alvin, now this is some credit card information that I want to share with everyone because jokingly, Martin, I think he's on the live stream, and he made a statement about Discover. Yes, Martin is here, and or Discover, Chase Freedom, and what was the other one, Martin? Discover, Chase Freedom, and some other credit card, right? But I told him that Discover helped me discover real estate, right? I'll tell anybody, my first rental residential property came through my Discover card that I actually got from college. And I negotiated that, was able to negotiate the home to the amount that I had on my Discover card and put about $4,000 into that. And as a result, right, received well over $90,000 back. And so this is my thing. I'm a very well advocate for those people who are beginning to learn how to leverage credit or use credit to create more cash flow and gain assets. I'm an advocate of just using credit and credit cards, right, for asset gains and cash flow gains. So, Alvin, anything you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I seen find out about what you just said too about Discover, Chase Freedom, and another card. But I heard Chase got a new card that they came out with. They're getting rid of the Freedom Unlimited or something like that, coming out with a new card. But to go in on that topic, I seen that young lady. She commented. She got more out of her 2-year. She got more out of her 2-year degree than a 4-year degree, which cost her thousands of dollars. Run that back, Queen. Explain that. Run that back, Queen. Explain what. And that's what I was saying earlier. Like, man, I know so many people that are like that. Like, I know so many people. I was talking to a lady because I do coaching as well on the side. I do like some business coaching as well on the side. And I was talking to a young lady today. She went to school for some time now, and she's not even using her degree, but she got thousands of dollars in student loan debt. And like Tanya said, that you can't get rid of student loan debt. Like even if you dispute it, even if you file bankruptcy, like I said, it's a federal debt now. You can't get rid of it no matter what you do. So it's like what I tell people, if you don't have too much student loan debt, because sometimes the interest rates on student, I don't know what they are right now. What's the interest rates on student loan debt right now, Latanya?
I'm not sure. That's one of the strategies I use as a public school teacher. I won't say I was not a victim of student loan debt, but because I coach and teach and train in the public schools, I am a part of the forgiveness program, and
Mm-hmm.
so and I'm. This is another jewel that I probably dropped, but because I have a great tax expert on my team, it's showing that I am making payments towards the student loan debt, but it's at $0, but it still counts as a payment, which means that it's over the 10-year time frame. That entire loan will be eradicated and deleted or gone because I am a public service worker, right? So that's
Mm-hmm.
one of the strategies, reasons why I am in the public school system that I'm using now. So I'm not sure about it, and that frees up more cash flow for me as well. But I'm not really sure what the interest rate, but let's just say it's maybe 5 or 6%, right?
Correct.
We'll just that.
See, normally what I tell people, whenever let's say the interest rate 5 to 6% or higher, and let's say your credit is not really impacted by student loan rate, but you know student loans, but you know for a fact that you got a significant amount, and from what I have seen people with 60, 70, $80,000 in student. I think it's around 4.3% regular non-COVID. Yeah, well, those are pretty good rates. Those rates aren't bad, but I have heard and I have seen some people say can be a little higher than that. But if you were in an instance, what I would say, I would consider trying to even consolidate my student loans, not necessarily into a student loan payment. I would try to get out of the federal government and consolidate my student loans and make more into a low interest rate installment loan. Just that way you can pay off the government, get detach yourself from the federal student loans, and then just deal directly with a bank. Because at the same time, and this is for certain situations. This isn't for everybody. This is for certain situations. But this will give you the opportunity to actually build your credit and, just getting out the bed with the government at the same time. So that's what I recommend to some people when it comes to student loan debt, because I know it can be tricky. And like I said, when you're with the government and it's a federal loan, you can't erase it. So the best way to do is to try to get from out the bed with those people. Student loan debt is the equivalent of child support and back taxes. That's correct. Yep. Child support, you can't run from it. Taxes neither. I'm trying to master getting rid of child support. That's my passion. Yeah, credit keys. I don't think you can get rid of that child support. I don't think you could. And don't y'all find it funny that, hey, once you get into the like student loan debt or anything like that, it doesn't actually help build your credit, but if you don't pay it, it actually harms you. Like it hurts you. So it's almost like a game that they design, and it's set up for you to like almost fail because you get into the debt, but if you pay it on time, it does nothing for you. It does nothing for you. And that's why I say if you're going to pay it on time, and let's say you have $10,000 in student loan debt and the interest is 5%, well, and your credit is good, then I would refinance my student loan debt into an installment loan, and I would pay that because guess what? That installment loan is going to give you a credit report, some history. You're going to pay the $10,000 back anyway because you're not going to run away from the government. So I would literally get a installment loan, pay off the government and just pay my installment loan and build your credit. And at the same time, while you're building your credit, now you're building your high credit limit. Now you're building your credit profile. And at the same time, once your credit profile is established, then you can go to the bank and leverage other assets. And you could tell them like, hey, look at what I did. I had this loan for $10,000. I paid this on time. I paid this off. Now the bank will be a little bit more willing to give you more money. Unlike student loans, you're just going to issue them a check every single month. But what are you getting out the deal? You're not getting nothing out the deal. They're just profiting. They're just making interest. They're just making money off the money that you borrow from them. So, like I mentioned before, this only works for a select group of individuals. But if you are in a situation like that, you may want to consider that. Get out the bed with those people because they're not helping. They're not in the game to help you, you know. And sometimes we have to use their system against them. Diamond DD83 said, "How do you convert student loans to installment payments?" Are you mentioning how do you convert student loans to installment payments with the federal government, or getting an installment loan and paying off the federal loans and transferring the debt to like an installment loan that's tied to like a bank? Which one are you talking about? Great tip. Leave the government. Correct. That's what I say. Leave the government. You have to get out of bed with the government because they're not in it to benefit you. Like the government, they want money. The government, they want money, and that's how they make money. They make money on interest and everything like that. That's them, you know. So it's like you wanna get away from those folks. So play that game against them. And I use the example, like I said, just a disclaimer. This is not for everybody, but for the people that do qualify. If you got $10,000 in student loan debt and your credit is fairly good to great, then what I would do, hey, if I've been making payments to the federal government on the $10,000 and I know it's not benefiting me, it's not helping me build my credit or put me in a position where I can go a year, 2, 3, 4 years from now and acquire an asset, what I would do, I would personally go to my bank and say, hey, I need to make a loan. I will make the loan for the amount that the student loan debt is for. I'll pay off the student loan debt, transfer that debt over to my bank, and then your bank is going to report those on-time payments to your credit report. Then as you're reporting their on-time payments to your credit report, what's going to happen is that's going to build up your credit profile. That's going to add an additional trade line to your credit report, and they're going to see, okay, you paid $10,000, $15,000 on time for the last 3 years. Great. Now we'll lend you more money. You know, we'll lend you more money because you paid so good. Now you're actually helping yourself. You're using their system against them. You know, and like I said, just not for everybody, but it's a great strategy if you're in a position to fulfill that. Can you do a balance transfer 0% for student loan debt? That's a good question. I'm pretty sure you can. There gotta be a way. There has to be a way, but most balance transfers usually happen between credit cards. But I know if you have a 0% credit card, there is ways you can convert credit. This is a whole nother topic for another day, but there is a way you can convert credit and you can turn it into cash, and then you can take that cash and you can pay off the student loan debt, and then at the same time that debt will be transferred to the 0% card, and then you just pay off the card that way. But that's a whole different conversation for another night. But there is a way if you do have 0%, because there are some. Let's say you get approved for a 0% card for $10,000, for example, right? Then you can turn that $10,000 into cash if you know how to do it the right way. There is a such thing as turning credit into cash money. Then you take that cash money. You don't go spend it. You pay off the student loan debt. Then you take the debt that you had from the student loan debt. It'll be on the credit card, and then you just pay that off. Sometimes I wonder if I'm chasing degrees or chasing death. True. That is
That's
very true. That's
and,
very
and
true.
that's what I tell people. One thing that the Jewish teach their children, that if they decide, the Jews, to pursue a degree or college education, they teach them degrees that would give them a high rate on return on their investment, and this, worthwhile their educational endeavors. So when they graduate, right, they will be six figures or more income earners. And oftentimes, people in the Black and Brown community do not get that counseling uh, before pursuing a degree. And you might, Alvin, I'm just gonna tell it to him real.
Mhm.
One thing Robert Kiyosaki teaches is a lot of changes that people are problems that people make, right? Financially in their life is they pursue their passion, right? They want to be passionate about things instead of pursuing things that will help them fund their passion, right? So if you're passionate about something, then learning or applying financial education and financial strategies to help you fund what you're passionate about is the choice or the decision that the rich and wealthy make, that the poor working class and middle class don't make, right? And so we just want to, and this is, I'm gonna add this, and we're going to go on into credit cards and leveraging your credit specifically, is that people understand paying the government when it comes to student loan debt, right? They say, I want them off my back. They're garnishing my check. I'm making a monthly payment, but the balance is going higher. But people don't understand getting the government out of their paychecks. They don't understand that the government is taking that paycheck money, paycheck income is the highest tax bracket that you can be in. And so
Mhm.
we can understand the government when it comes to bad student loan debt, but it's hard for people to understand the government when it comes to their paycheck. And this is what I don't, understand, right? And so next thing, Alvin, that I want to share with them is using credit cards stress free, right? And then
Mhm.
I'll let you elaborate on this. Using credit cards stress free, as Joanna, you laugh. Right. They say LOL. You understand the government when it comes to student loan, but you don't understand the government is stealing 30, 40, well, or taking, right? They're not stealing, because if you just did some strategies, you could prevent that and you can keep more of the money that you're making. It's like
Mhm.
someone, it's like someone complaining about, I need more groceries in my house. I need more groceries. And I inform them that every Friday you have someone that's coming into your house that's stealing your groceries. And that's why you are always short or lacking groceries, because every Friday someone comes in your house and steal your groceries. Well, they don't
Mhm.
focus on stopping or preventing what's taking the groceries, right? Their focus is, I need to do something to get more groceries. Well, that's how people think in the financial world, right? They don't focus on, okay, I'm losing 30 to 40% of my labor from my paycheck to the IRS or the feds. No, they focus on, I need to get a second job because I'm lacking money. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I need to get
Mhm.
another job. That's not the answer, because you're still going to be taxed. Did you all know, for example, statistics show that a second job with an annual income of $20,000 a year, your amount of take home pay will equal out to about $900 by the time you are taxed. I've had people to tell me I had to stop or reduce my hours on my second job because I was paying back taxes from having a lower paying second job, right? Trying to add that on to the first job. And so, that's just my spiel on that. But now let's get into credit cards, right?
Mhm.
It was Martin, I think, who made a statement about discover. People have discover cards and they discovered they're broke, trying to chase freedom, and while being mastered, by Mastercard. And I told him, I said, well, Discover helped me discover real estate to master my money, chasing financial freedom. So Chase, Discover, and MasterCard have all been my investing partners, right? And so I was reading this article, I came across this article, and this is what most people don't understand. And it reads, most credit card users, right? Most credit card users offer a grace period, which lets you pay off your balance. The key here is interest free within a minimum of 21 days from the end of a billing cycle. Any balance remaining after the 21-day grace period will incur interest if you don't, if you at least don't pay the minimum. You could also face fees, right, which will cost you hundreds of dollars or hundreds of dollars over time. You'll be charged interest on any amount you don't pay after the grace period, people. So this is why I recommend that you always pay on time and pay in full. I don't care if you have a credit card that states that your annual interest rate is 10%, 11%. The reason and the only reason that people get charged interest on credit cards is because you don't pay the balance off in full, right? And I even made a statement, a post on my YouTube channel that some people were saying that they decided to keep a utilization rate on credit cards at 3% versus 0%, and they actually saw their credit score, even though it was a Vantage credit score through Credit Karma, but Credit Karma dropped their credit score by 23% because they did not pay those credit card balances in full every month. So, Alvin, when I say that or educate people on that, what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that. This is how I look at it. This is how I look at every single credit card. Um, I have about 20 credit cards, right? All of them are active, all of them open. I look at every single credit card that I have is a charge card. And if you're familiar with a charge credit card, you understand that on a charge credit card, or a charge card, you have to pay the balance off in full the next coming month. So I look at every single credit card as a charge card. I pay the balance off because it benefits me that way. Leaving balances on credit cards, man, I have been in that situation. I have been in that situation before. And, hard times and difficult times and tough times happen for everyone. And I fell on hard times one time and I had a Chase card. I think I ran the balance up to like 7,000. And that 29% interest, if you paid a minimum payment on 29% interest or 20% interest or whatever it is, you'll be paying that balance off for a very, 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 very long time. So you would have to almost triple the payment in order to get out that credit card debt. And that's why I say you would definitely need strategy, and you definitely want to you definitely want to avoid that happening to you. And that's why I always coach and I always tell people, man, look at your credit cards like they're charge cards. If you got a balance on it, to avoid any interest payment, just pay it off the next month, or leave a very, very small balance where the interest is probably $1 or $2. That's not a significant amount of money. But leaving a large balance on 10% interest, that's just absurd. You don't want to, you wouldn't want to do that. So I'm in complete agreement with Latanya on not leaving a balance on a card. I don't leave a balance on any of my credit cards. No credit card I have today have a balance on it. Like none. I pay them off to 0%. The only time I really occur a balance is if like I get an annual fee or something like that, and I pay that off. But I'm in complete agreement of paying credit cards off every single month. And at the end of the day, it only helps you. It only helps your FICO score. It only builds your credit score and your credit profile over a period of time. But if you are buying a house and have no balance on a credit card, it reflects like you don't have credit. That's not always true. Um, if you buying a house and it really just depends on that lender and how they're looking at you and their like requirements because um, you can have credit cards on your credit report with no balance and still buy a house without a doubt. Some the credit bureaus from the research I have done typically like to see a balance on the card. I typically recommend anything between 1 and 9% credit utilization. Um, they typically like to see that because they tend to score you a little bit better. They look at you like, okay, this person is responsible with the credit that they actually have. They're responsible, and that's the key. You want to look responsible with your credit. That's the entire goal. So having a balance is not a bad thing, but you just don't want a high balance and incur all those fees because at the end of the day, they incur all that interest in those fees because at the end of the day, you're only making the wealthier. That's it. You're only making the wealthy people wealthier because that's how they make money. They make money on money. Like they don't work for it. And Latanya spoke on that earlier. If you have a W-2 job and somebody's taking taxes out of your check, you know what I mean? Then you're working, you're trading your time to make money. But that's not how the wealthy people know. They're playing a different game. They're leveraging their money to make money, and they're using other people's time to make money. So just be smart. Just be smart about credit card and the creded card debts and leaving balances on there. It's not always bad, but just keep it very, very low. If you got $1,000 credit card, man, just keep a $20 balance or less than that. And no matter what the interest is, it's not going to be that much. It's not going to be that much that's getting taxed onto that balance. Jobs create negative cash flow. Business profits are side hustles. Only way to break cycles of pay minimums on credit card. That's true. I believe that could be true. I could believe that could be true, Curtis, because man, I look at it like this, and I'm not talking against anyone that has a job. Um, I look at it like this because I once had a job. I did. But jobs, I look at it like jail operating as a business. Like, I don't see the difference between being stuck in the cubicle all day being told what to do, how to do this and how to do that. And at the same time, um, being in jail and being told what to do, when to do it at this time, like I don't see the difference. And I'm not saying anything against anyone that has a job because I have been there, and it's nothing wrong with the job. We all start from somewhere, but I think everybody's ultimate goal should definitely be to get out of the job situation and start your own thing, to do your own thing, and try to build your own wealth. That's what I personally think. Um, that's pretty much it. That's facts. People stuck at cubicles. I once had a job. Go facts. People stuck at cubicles. Yeah, it's the truth, and I want everybody on this live call tonight to take my story as like an inspirational thing. Take it as an inspirational. My ultimate goal is only to inspire. And I talk to the Queen of Credit about this all the time. Our goal is to inspire, to shed light on people, to let people know, tap into your true potential, and just bring it to light. You even if you have a job now, you can definitely you can definitely get out and do your own thing. And a great way to do that is by making sure it all goes back to the same thing. Making sure your credit is intact, taking your credit, leveraging it to get your own business and everything like that. And then you can make your way out of your job. That is very true. And that's why we preach credit. We live by credit. Credit is our lives. And if you utilize it the right way, it can really benefit you. If you utilize it the correct way.
Okay, so some people ask me all the time, what do you mean by help you discover real estate? And Jeremy Cash, Young CEO, he actually mentioned me in one of his videos. 312,000 views in his video last year, 2019. And like I said, he sends me clients to work with him as well. That I bought my first flip house with a Discover credit card, right? So I'm going to share this clip with you all.
Shout outs to Latanya, right? I share a lot of her stuff on my Facebook as well. She calls herself the credit queen, my bad, the credit queen. She said, I bought my first flip house with a Discover credit card, guys. This kind of stuff is very, very powerful. And if you're 18, 19, 20, 40, 50, if you never knew how to come up in life, if you never knew how to get your breakthrough, it all lies in getting your credit fixed, using debt, turning debt into cash flow to then fund your life and your dreams, guys. Do not run away from this kind of debt because you didn't have the knowledge. Turn to this because this can help you come out of your situation, right? You are called to be the lenders and not the borrowers, correct? You can borrow in order to become the lender.
Okay,
this
and
is how you do it.
I always love it when he made that statement in this video, that we are called to be the lenders and not the borrowers, right? But you can borrow in order to become the lender. Right. And Alvin and Alvin do. He's on me all the time about maybe quitting, leaving the job. And I believe I can. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just positioning myself and building myself to where I can get my business entities set up so that I can make a big real estate purchase, right? Alvin and I were discussing, he was like, duplex is fine, fourplex is fine, but I'm looking for something bigger than that. And so Robert Kiyosaki has a great book out as well, Before You Quit Your Job, that some of you all may want to be interested in, because it is actually through my job, because I coach and I look at business coaching and sports coaching very similar, because wealth is a team sport. Wealth is a team sport. You have to have a system in place. You have to speak to the mindset in order to get the performance. And you have to learn strategies. And so I learned all of that in the basketball world, and I get that concept as well. And Alvin and I were having a great discussion on the phone, and I just told him, I said, Alvin, let's go live. And this is what I don't think most people understand, that you have to keep yourself in a community of people, because like Alvin made the statement that wealth is built within circles, right? It's built in masterminding. It's built in having the conversations that he and I have. He's 25 years old. This is a Saturday night. Both he and I could be doing anything else besides discussing credit and cash flow, right? But you have to keep yourself in that mastermind of people. And that's one of the reasons why I always endorse a home-based business, network marketing as well, because even when you go solo in business, you're still going to need mentors and you still need coaches. Wealthy people never do it alone, right? So elaborate on that, Alvin, for me.
Yeah, let's go back to the topic of wealth. You can say wealth travels in circles. Wealth is generated in circles. They always say your network is your net worth. So I'm entitled to believe in that and understand this. And I always use this analogy, like, and you could pay attention to what's happening around you, the people that you're associating with, the people that you're talking to constantly on a daily basis, the people that's in your circle. That's going to determine a lot of what type of information that goes into your mind. Because understand, wealth is not the paper that you fold up and you put in your pocket. The wealth is actually the information that you put into your mind. Because if you have the information in your mind, the getting the paper part is easy. It's the information that you need up here. That's the true wealth, because paper come and go. It's just currency. It's literally a flow. That's why they call it currency. Think of like a current. Think of like a river, or ocean, or any a river. A river has a current. You know what I mean? So it's like the money keeps going. You're supposed to keep it in current. You're supposed to keep it moving all the time. But at the end of the day, the true wealth is the knowledge and information that's in your brain, because we're in the information age. You do not even have to work hard today in order to acquire cash. You just have to know what you're doing. You have to have the information, and that information can literally manifest into physical paper. And the more information you have, the more paper you can collect. And when you get the paper, then you have to know what to do with the paper. And that goes back to being in the right circles, circles of wealth. When you're in circles of wealth and people that's discussing investments, people that's discussing ideas on what to do with this money, how to park this money, not to leave money in the bank, and to literally put money into other assets, into other investments that's going to generate more money on top of your money, then that's when your circle of influence come into effect. And me and Tanya was talking earlier, it's so important that you surround yourself by the right people. It is so important. That's all I did with my life. Like I mentioned earlier, I told everyone on this live, I never went to school. I barely finished high school, barely. I barely finished high school. All I did, and all my friends took off to school. Everybody thought that, hey, man, you're going to be stupid. Everybody was telling me this, that, and the other. And all I did was just pretty much read a few books and surrounded myself around the people that I wanted to become, that wanted to be my mentors. So that's what it's about at the end of the day. If you have the information inside your brain, you can literally become anything. You can achieve anything. And it's all about your circle of influence. Derek White just said Trump has a team of brains around him. That's very true. Why you think he's the way he is now? Why you think his net worth is what it is? Like his team is it is what it is. It speaks for itself. And that's all I do. I try to surround myself with people. I try to surround myself with people that we can share ideas and we can transfer wealth. And I'm not talking about paper. Paper has no value to me. If you really stop and think about it, $100 bill and a $1 bill has the same value. You may think in your brain, because you've been programmed, that it has different values. It actually has the same value because it's printed on the same piece of paper. It's printed with the same ink on the same piece of paper. It just has different numbers on it. But the truth is, actually, it's all based up here, how you look at it. So believe me when I tell you, the true wealth, the real wealth, is the information that you have in your brain. And the more information you have, and you can get this information by reading books, and the quickest way to get it is by surrounding yourself with certain people, and surrounding yourself with these people, I'm telling you, your life will change like that. I once read in a book, I don't know who I heard this from or where I read it at, but I remember it and it stuck with me and I live by it. It says this. Your environment is more important than your heredity. and was built right into your genes, which means that the people that you surround yourself with is more important than what's built into your genes at birth. Like the people that you surround yourself with. And that's important, man. And I try my best every day to network with individuals, connect with individuals that's going far in life, that's peaceful, that's relaxed, that's happy. And they want something out of life. That's how I try to surround myself with those type of people. And I just seen Diamond D83 just mentioned what books I recommend. One of my favorite books to this day is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That's one. Another one of my favorite books is Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. That's like a mindset shift. Another one of my favorite books, You Too Can Be Prosperous. You Too Can Be Prosperous. That's a really good book. And all these books, you know what's so funny? All these books seems like they're talking about money. It has nothing to do with money. Well, I can't say it has nothing to do with money. It's more about the mindset. It's more about what's up here. It's more about transforming your mindset. And once you transform your mindset, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. You'll be looking at the same thing, but you're looking at it completely different.
Exactly.
And yes, I look for people reading and have more in terms of wealth. I look for people reading and have more than terms of wealth. But yes, that's true. Change your mindset, change your environment. Yep. And you know what's so funny? They say change your mindset, change your environment. You know what? If you go forced and change your environment, your mindset is going to change. Because believe it or not, you cannot hang around a group of smart investors and individuals and not become that. You're going to become that. My dad used to always tell me a long time ago, birds of a feather flock together. So if you're hanging around a certain group of people, you will become that. Like you're not going to hang around 5 people that rob and steal and you not be tempted to rob and steal or not get caught up in that. Even if you don't physically do it, you're going to get caught up in that. So I look at it like that. Like even if you're in an environment and you want to change your life, you don't have to, you can focus on changing your mindset. That's important, but what's most important is the action that you take. And the action is, if you want to change your mindset, you want to change the way you're doing things, then guess what? Go change your environment. And I guarantee you, what's going to happen, your mindset is going to change, because now you're going to be getting fed different type of information. You're going to start hearing different things. Like everything that you were used to is going to be uncomfortable, but eventually you're going to get used to the discomfort, and that's how your life is going to transform. That's what I did. I can't blame any success that I have personally achieved on any school or anything like that, because I didn't go to school. I didn't have parents, and I escaped poverty just because I changed my environment. I changed the people that I socialize with. And I still socialize with some of the old people that I used to, but I keep it limited. I keep it limited, and I just socialize with people that's being creative, that's talking about things, that's doing things, So focus, that's the key. Change your mindset is good, but the most important thing, change the environment. Focus on the environment. If you want to be wealthy, just move to where the wealthy people live at and watch what happens to you. Mingle with them. Go out with them. If they're having lunch at ABC restaurant down the street, go down the street and have lunch with them, and watch how the conversations be different, and watch what happens whenever you leave that restaurant. You're going to be thinking different. So the result of you taking action of changing your environment is the result of having a different mindset. You take the action to change your environment, and what's going to happen is you're going to have a different mindset. And that's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. So I would focus on changing the environment, and your mindset is going to automatically change because of the information you're going to be getting. Because of the information is definitely different. I have been at the top, I have been at the bottom, but the information is definitely different. And that's the only difference. It's not no difference in the people, because everybody can achieve whatever they want to achieve. But the difference, the biggest difference is, I'm telling you, is the information. Because the person that's considered at the bottom or the person that's considered to be at the top, they're equally the same. There's no difference in them. The only thing that's different is the information that they have. And that's all I really have to say.
And Alvin, I forgot to tell you on the phone, I will be in Georgia. I think the first week of November.
Cool.
It's the first or second week. So if you're still there, I definitely would like to connect with you.
Absolutely. Yeah, reach out to me. The opportunities are here right now. Seize the moment. The opportunities are here right now, people. Seize the moment. Yep, opportunities are here. Don't be blinded by the COVID-19 and all that. Opportunities are here. You know what's so funny? I'm going to tell you something about opportunity, and you're going to read this in the book, Think and Grow Rich. Opportunity is very sly. It's like you never really see it, but it's there. You know, I'm telling you, the opportunity is always there. You know, you just have to have that awareness to know that the opportunity is there. But opportunity is always there. It's always there. So I think the opportunity relies more in your mind than it does in like the physical world. You know, because that's where it all starts at. It all starts in the mental. It all starts in the spiritual form, and then it manifests into the physical. You know, but I don't want to get all scientific tonight, but that's what I think. Having good luck is the people you hang around. Having good luck is the people you hang around. So that's pretty good. Yeah. Having good luck is the people you hang around.
You know, luck is learning under correct knowledge.
Huh? Learning under correct knowledge. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
That's my definition of luck. So,
learning under correct knowledge. Mm-hmm.
I think, Alvin, the biggest question is, you know, will people, as they said in the Matrix, right? Will people take the red pill or the blue pill, right? Will people accept the red pill and continue to walk in ignorance? Not ignorance personal, but ignorance of not accepting truth and knowledge? Or will they take the blue pill and decide to learn what the rich and wealthy are doing? I posted a great video about Trick Daddy, and it was taken down. So I don't want to play it in this clip, because of copyright. But Trick Daddy on my Facebook and Instagram, he said some deep things about, because he had bad credit, he was so far behind, right? And all I want to tell people is that when you use cash, this book may be too deep for you, but you can't see it. It said, give yourself credit. Money doesn't grow on trees. And it talks about that when you use Federal Reserve notes, which is cash, a debt is never paid with that. It is simply transferred to someone else. And who is getting the biggest transfer of debt as America prints out more cash? Is everyday working people. If you have a job under your social security number, the only way, all you have to do really is use your exemption ID number, right, to pay a debt off legally. And in order to do that, I tell people all the time, convert your social into an EIN, an exemption ID number, and convert your name that your mama gave you into a corporation name, right? Make yourself a corporation, make your social and an EIN. I call it EIN, an exemption ID number, to pay off a debt, right? If you want to do it without being the economic slave to the government. So real quick, Alvin, because I think you and I are about to wrap it up. It's been an hour. I'm going to share this video clip with you, and I want you to elaborate what this means to you. The title is, what are you investing for? Cash flow or capital gains? And we talk about that when you're in the room with rich people, the conversations are always different, and the importance of mastermind. So let me play this for you.
You just built your house, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And Kenny has owned multi-million dollar properties, but only after he was a rich man did he build a house. And what poor people do is they buy the big house on emotion, technical, and then they never buy on cash flow. That is oh, I have the house of my dreams. What a freaking loser are you? How stupid can you be? Kim and I live in a tiny little house on 16th Street here. We paid $117,000 for it. Monthly payments were $300 a month, including homeowners association, who were ripping us off. Oh no, the homeowners are the biggest crooks I've ever met in my life. Homeowner means crooks. That's what it means. They're the biggest crooks I've ever met in my whole life. Nice, honest people, But crooked as they're ripping you, stealing, all this. But we sat there and we bought cash flow, and our little house just sat there and it sat there and it sat there with this dinky little house. One day we popped up and we had a lot of money. Then we bought a big house, the same as Kenny. If you can understand what we're saying to you, is just fundamental of rich people. And poor people want the big house, the BMW, the nice cars and all this stuff, but they don't have the cash flow to support this. Do that make sense, you guys? Here? That's the difference.
Wow. So what do you think about that, Alvin? The topic of this video is, what are you investing for? Cash flow or capital gains? And he said poor people, middle class people want the big houses, the BMW, and they don't even have the cash flow. And speaking of this, he's speaking of cash flow from assets, right? Not from labor, not from a job. And he said rich people do things totally opposite. And I think a lot of issues are, we don't study rich people before they get rich. We just look at them in the aftermath of becoming rich, but we don't see what steps they took to become rich. So what's your thoughts and opinion on that?
My thoughts and on that is 100% in agreement of what he just said. For instance, I think everybody should be investing for cash flow. And this is how I look at it. I look at it like this. If you have a house, an apartment, a condo, townhouse, whatever you want to call it, wherever you live at, let me ask you a question. How often do you get a light bill? How often do you get a light bill? You get a light bill every single month. So you telling me the government, whoever owns these electric companies, what are they focusing on? They focusing on capital gains, or they focusing on cash flow? That's all cash flow. They want that money to come every single month. And that's how I think you should be. So instead of, I tell people all the time, I recommend, don't go out and buy a big house. If you make $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 a year, don't go out and buy a big house right from the start. That'll come down the line. Go make investments. Rent, renting is not always bad. If you calculate the money, rent is not always bad. You know what I mean? But invest the money into things that's going to produce more money. Go buy you something that's going to produce money. Go buy a property that's going to make you money. And then if you get enough of it, then you can build the big 8, 9, 10,000 square foot mansion, however big you're trying to get it. And guess what? Then your other assets are paid for. Your cash flow will pay for it, whether you're working or not. And that's why I'm blessed, and I feel like I'm in this position that I'm in. I don't have to work because I have cash flow regardless. I have cash flow, and I don't go out and just buy a big mansion because I'm able to. That's not my intention. My intention is to have the cash flow every month. I look at it like that. If I want my electric to stay on, then I need cash flow every single month, because they want cash flow every month. They send you an electric bill every single month. And that's the name of the game. The name of the game is cash flow. Every major company is doing that. Look at all these subscription services. Look at how these companies are going from, hey, just taking payments, every year or everything. They're converting it all into subscriptions. You know why they're converting it into subscriptions? Because they're starting to understand that, hey, we need that money every month. We need that cash flow every single month. I even seen now they're supposed to start releasing cars in a subscription plan instead of just signing a 3-4 month lease term thing like that. Hey, man, we'll give it to you in a subscription base. You know why? They want that money every single month. And don't get me wrong, a traditional finance term for 6-7 years is still the same thing, but you get my drift. You understand what I'm trying to say. Cash flow, I think, is king. I think cash flow is king. So I'm in complete agreement with that. And why would you want capital gains anyway? Capital gains is taxed. Like, that's tax heavy. You got to pay capital gains taxes. But if you structure it right and you get cash flow, and let's say, for example, you're doing real estate the right way, you're not really paying no taxes on that.
Exactly. So I think cash flow, capital gains is taxed 20%. Income is then taxed 30 to 40%. So passive income, right, is where people want to invest in. And speaking of passive income, and I think this is all I'm going to share with you all. I do have any thoughts on cryptocurrency, Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP, Ripple? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've been in the crypto, and I'm not an expert in crypto, but I will just share my opinions on crypto. I think it's going to be the future. I think the world, well, it's already happening. I don't even think it's already happening. Paper money is going away. If you don't see that by now, then I don't know what rock you've been lying under. But paper money is on its way out the door. Digital is taking its place. These banks, when you got money sitting inside a bank, the cash isn't physically sitting there. It's all digital. It's in the side of computer. When you're transferring money, then that's all digital. That's numbers. That's all it is. So I think when it comes to cryptocurrency and being that what it is, I really think cryptocurrency is going to be the future. I don't know how long it's going to take for it to come and like really take over, but I do think it's going to be the future. I really think it's going to be the future.
PayPal just made a big move. They are now have Bitcoin on their platform. And what people may not know about PayPal, they have 346 million accounts. And it is the third biggest depository, banking type institution in the world or in the United States. And so when you have Wells Fargo, Citigroup, and those companies that's 60% delinquent because people are not paying their home mortgages and et cetera, or not paying back their credit card debts or mortgage loans, debts, et cetera, then you have a PayPal, like again, third biggest, top three in deposits, 346 million accounts that just switched to Bitcoin. You definitely need to research and do your due diligence concerning that. Yes, Square does, and they also do Bitcoin as well. So digital money is here to stay. Thank you, Ernest. She said, I'm just trying to send the Cash App fee. So Ernest, my Cash App is LD Financial Coaching. I think, yeah, LD Financial Coaching is my Cash App. And that's all I have to say, Alvin. And also the last thing I'm going to close with is that I shared this article, and I saw a video that I made in 2019 about adding your children using credit cards. You can tell I love credit cards with strategy, but using credit cards to build generational wealth. And this is from Forbes. And the article reads that my 1-year-old, say that again, my 1-year-old, right, your children, you can start building their credit history before they start walking. My 1-year-old is an authorized user on my credit card. Here's why. My son turned 1 last month for his birthday. This is what rich and wealthy people do, right? For his birthday, they didn't go out and buy Jordans or Xbox or whatever the new games are. I gave him a credit card with $85,000 in available credit. He has access to it because I made him an authorized user on my primary credit card. 1 year old, and this is true. This was a Forbes article. When he's an authorized user, the card's history shows up on his credit report. By the time he's 18 and ready to apply for credit card, car loan, or other loans of his own, he'll have a very long credit history and should be well on his way to earning a great credit score. This is from the Motley Fool, but it was published by Forbes. And I made a video 2019. I uploaded, I thought about it when I read that article of how to add your children as authorized user to begin building their credit history before they even begin walking, if you want to. But in order to do that, then the parents have to be financially stable and educated about the strategies. Because if you don't have a good credit card, you can't add your child, right? And so I say this all the time, people, you have to flip the script. Either you're going to be the parent that has to use your child's name before they turn 18 to get your light bill turned on, right? And then when they turn 18, they have a charge off from a utility company because mom or dad didn't pay the light bill. And now they have damaging credit because I have to help young people at 18 or 19 that didn't know they had a utility bill charge off because parents added them at 14 or 15. Either you can be that type of parent or you can be the other type of parent that when your child turns 18, they are positioned with a 750 credit score because you allowed them to be an authorized user and be a user in renting your credit. And so that's all I have to say. Alvin, any closing remarks? And we're going to wrap this up.
No, that's pretty much it. It's been great. It was like nice speaking to everyone tonight. Thank you to everyone that engaged and participated and shared comments and gave us feedback on the live tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you all, and like I said, of course, anytime y'all reach out to Queen of Credit in regards to anything, any concerns y'all have about credit, feel free to reach out to her. If y'all would like to connect with me, you can connect with me on Facebook. My name on Facebook is Alvin, AJAJAY, George, GEORGE. That is Alvin, AJ, George. And like I said, feel free to reach out to us if y'all have any questions. Looking forward to doing more lives with you guys. And like I said, it's been great. Thank you to everybody that engaged tonight. This was a great conversation and discussion. And like I said, we shall talk again soon.
Okay, thank you, Alvin. Okay, so that's Alvin. And then these two things I want to share with you all. Real quick as well. Yes, thanks to everyone. Make sure that you subscribe. If you're seeking to, get less tax out of your paycheck and increase your cash flow and expand your cash flow, right? From your income, expanding your cash flow from his income, because I didn't want to tie Alvin up too long. I don't know if he had something else to do, but watch this video clip as well. Why direct sales is better than income, right? Or residual income is better, or residual cash flow better than income. So let's play this.
I'm often asked, why do I recommend network marketing, especially since I'm not in the network marketing business? And like many people, early on, I had a very negative or closed-minded attitude towards network marketing. But I've changed my mind. I've opened up the way that I think, and I've looked at the network marketing industry, and I find some things that are extremely beneficial, especially for people who are looking to make some changes from the E and the S over to the right side of the quadrant. One of the beauties of network marketing, it actually teaches the mental, emotional, and technical skills to be in the B quadrant. Because somebody in network marketing has the potential of building a system with over 500 people in it, plus unlimited income. The thing that network marketing teaches you is the most important skill in the B quadrant is the ability to sell. One of the reasons I worked for the Xerox Corporation when I got out of the Marine Corps was to learn how to sell. My rich dad said, if you're going to be in the business quadrant and become big business, you must learn how to sell or communicate to employees, to specialists, to investors to raise capital, as well as to my customers. So communication or sales skills are essential for somebody in the B quadrant. And the network marketing industry, not all of them, but some of them have excellent training programs to teach you how to sell, how to communicate, how to build businesses. The other thing that's beautiful about the network marketing industry, it teaches you self-confidence. There's a reason many people are not good in the B quadrant is they're afraid of rejection. And network marketing teaches you to handle your own fears, overcome your fear of rejection, and build that self-confidence. And that's essential for the B quadrant. Also, it gives you time. In the real world, when I worked for Xerox as an employee for 4 years, if I didn't sell, I was fired. The beauty of network marketing industry is they'll work with you. You can take as much time as you like to develop those skills. As your skills increase, so does your income. Take 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. It takes time to develop those skills. The network marketing industry gives you the education and the time to build that self-confidence. Once you have your business up, the reason the cash flow game is so important, and you have all this excess money coming from your business, then you can invest your money into real estate and stocks and bonds, and that's what the cash flow game teaches you how to do, is how to be a successful and proficient investor, especially an investor on the fast track. The fast track is where the rich invest. So the beauty of network marketing works really hand in hand. It builds you up, teaches you how to increase your income, builds the self-confidence, and the cash flow game teaches you how to invest. And that's why I recommend network marketing, and that's why I work hand in hand with so many of those businesses.
Okay, so that's why I recommend network marketing. There may be some people who do want to start their own independent businesses. However, if you do, just also make sure you have mentors in the area. You have system in place. The reason I always tell people step one should be my financial literacy network marketing company is because, again, if you still have a job, you want to go ahead and apply the strategies to get more money out of your paycheck to increase your cash flow. On average, people in the minimal are able to take home $200 to $600 more a month into their household. I just had a live testimonial last Saturday where his take home increased by $1,400 a month, right? And so again, the very first thing you want to do to position yourself to get wealthy, there's a biblical scripture as well that says, if the thief is found, right? Let's have Credit Church real quick. If the thief is found, he must repay 7 times that which he stole. And so the very first thing you need to do to build yourself to wealth, I think it's Proverbs. Yes, Proverbs. The very first thing you need to do to restore yourself to wealth is find out who's taking your money right now. Right? I know you've been taught about budgeting, but people, if I told you someone was taking 30 to 40% of your dollar versus having a Netflix account, a $30 or $50 bill every month that you need to decrease, which one would you focus on the more? And so this scripture, Proverbs 6:31, reads that if you find the thief, right? If you find the thief, he will or shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house. So it says, don't despise the thief if he satisfy your soul, if you are hungry, but if you find one, he shall restore sevenfold. And this is what happened once you find what's stealing money out of your paycheck, because you already have your 401ks coming out, or your pensions, or your insurances. Now you have 30-40% of federal tax. That's the very first thing you need to stop in order to build your way to wealth, in addition to getting your credit increased or improved as well, so you can stop paying high interest rate on bad debt to the bank. Also, another link I shared, I uploaded this video today, how to get your child a 750 credit score. I made this video in 2019, actually October 24th, 2019. It's a 13-minute video if you want to go and watch that video as well. And I'm going to just end this on a video that I shared or I made about Master P and how how millionaires use credit cards as well.
People need to understand the power of credit, right? They need to understand the power of credit. So let's push play. Wish I could enlarge this, but I think this is, let me see. Okay, I did. Gotta learn technology, huh? Practice what you preach.
I got the Iron Man, so you know what I'm saying? He's a real spaceship. That's that real joke right there. And he takes me don't work for money. Don't. I have $1 million.
All right, he said, keep chasing your dreams and goals. Don't work for money. Now, if you're watching on Facebook, I'm showing this video on my YouTube channel, Queen of Credit, if you can't see it, right? He said, keep chasing your dreams and goals. Don't work for money.
Keep chasing the dreams and goals. Don't work for money. Don't. I have $1 million in my pocket. Nobody believes. Show y'all $1 million.
All right, so I had to pause that. So Facebook, let me see if I can just flip it to show you. He said, they asked him if he had $1 million in his pocket. Show you that screenshot. I paused it. So let me show you that $1 million. He got an Amex card right there. Boom. That's your $1 million. Right?
So learn how to leverage credit and credit cards. As you all know earlier, I talked about how my first Discover card was used to discover real estate to help me master money and chase my financial freedom. Very first rental property bought with or purchased with my Discover credit card that I received in college, right? In college. So that's the link. You need to get more money out your paycheck, right? You need to increase your cash flow. You need to get your credit score up as well, so you can get bad debt down and start leveraging your credit to get good debt and good assets, cash flow and assets as well. All right, you all have a great night. This is Queen of Credit. I was on with the King of Credit, Mr. Alvin George, and we are glad that you tune in. Here's to your peace and prosperity, your credit and your cash flow, your health and your wealth. Thank you all so much for the 17,000 subscriptions today. You all have a great night. Queen of Credit out. You're welcome.